Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you guys have had an amazing day. I have had. Today was Grandparents' Day, an occasion that we rarely even think about. However, it is a thing. For those whose grandparents are still alive, please enjoy that they are. For those whose children's grandparents are still alive, that meaning your parents are still alive. Enjoy their company, enjoy how they teach love your children, enjoy just sitting down with them and letting life. So today is day 13, Friday the 13th. I told you it was going to be a good day, and it was a good day. It's not a cast day, it's not a bad luck day. No, it's a good one. And we continue with our journey. My name is Wanjiko Mirigi, a counseling psychologist based in Nairobi, Kenya. I enjoy what I do. I think I was born to be a psychologist, and I was born to be a child of the Most High God. So, Proverbs 13. It says many things, but as usual, there's that one that just stands out and picks and nudges you and nags you all day. And this one was not only today, but it's something that took me way back, that even before there was slip of the tongue. There was already someone who had put down plans for me before they even knew that I was ever going to exist. There's someone who listened and did something for me. So, in Proverbs 13, it says, a wise man, a man who has wisdom, a good person is the one who leaves inheritance, not only for his children, but for his children's children. The first time I had that one, it made me think of, allow me, and I'm not being tribal, but it made me think of Kikuyus and land. I am a concoction of Kenyan, so I'm not like just talking about one. But if there's a tribe that is very diligent to live for their children, it's Kikuyus. And for them, they leave you land. Besides the point of land. And so when I read it, I was like, Wanjiko, you have children. What are you going to leave for them? Let me say I have been lucky. It's not so much. And I have seen families that have way people. There's two kinds of extremes. There are those families that have done really well, not only for themselves, but when you look at, we take an example. This one the whole country knows. The family of our previous president, Uhuru Kenyatta. He was the fourth, fifth president. His father was the first president of Kenya. And when you look at how the dad got property, and now previous president Uhuru Kenyatta was left for property, acquired more property, and has for his children and for his children's children. And then there's the narcissistic type. Also in these Proverbs, it says that a fool is the one who's not going to take advice from anyone. And they are the kind to amass or to get wealth, but it flies away. But the righteous, they keep little. And before long, it's amounted to a lot. So there's the narcissist who will not, for the life of them, invest to live to their own. Already you as a partner, you're the enemy. You're enemy of the house. Then there's these other little people, human beings that belong to both of you that are not, or they will not allow any kind of emotional attachment with them. So they will not leave for them anything. And this category of narcissistic, toxic, abusive partners are also the kind who now, instead of them amassing wealth, what they will be doing is taking out that what they leave as inheritance for their children is debts. That instead of them, yes, they are working, and yes, they have their money, but instead of thinking, how do I invest so that when my children come, they do not have to start from scratch? Example, the Kenyatta's family, none of them is ever going to start from scratch, honestly speaking, because there's forever that their first father was a president, and then in the lineage, another president. So there's forever going to be privilege for just having the name Kenyatta. And then there's this other side where it's loans, fighting, quarreling, that was forever going to follow your name. You know, in high school, I think I said it here. We used to talk about crying in a range, but laughing on a bike. But the thing that we were not told is that these things can flip. That you can be crying and you don't even have that bicycle. It's not even a wheelbarrow. It's your Futsubishi. But you're crying on a day-to-day basis. And you can be in the range with a lot of joy, tears of laughter, an assured tomorrow. But we've always looked at them as cross. But in this day and age, a toxic partner is a toxic partner. There was a wave in 2018, 2019, of a person who was giving some teachings to men. And he has, to date, he has many followers, this guy. And what he advocates for is that you should not have any kind of emotional connection with your children. Because if you have an emotional connection with them, it is spoiling them. And Wanjiko sits back and wonders, if you don't have an emotional connection with your children, okay, why are they in your life even to begin with? Because this is a source of blessing. This is what brings, when we say the two shall become one, these children are what we say is one. They're the evidence of the one, you and your husband, or you and your wife. This is the evidence of one. And then now there's no emotional connection. So whatever it is that you work for is just for you to squander. You become like the prodigal son. It's just for you, that you don't even think about their tomorrow. And in one of the abuses that we have is financial abuse. And financial abuse can be very subtle, that you may not even pick it. But this is what happens. You can both be, let me give you two scenarios. Both partners are working, you bring in the money into one pool, but it's one person who controls it. And the one person who controls it, it's not because they are good in finances, but it is because they always want to have the upper hand of anything and everything you do in that house. That we will not eat bread, you will not drink milk, you can be having strong tea, or when I say that milk is going to be bought in the house. That's one. I'm not going to go into too much detail of it. There's another one who's going to convince you not to work, or they're going to frustrate you in any kind of income generating business, or in any way that you're going to have any kind of finances coming to you. An example can be you will have children and they will not be comfortable with you living or having a help taking care of the children, or even having parents, relatives step in to take care of the children. They will give you different reasons that at the beginning will make a lot of sense. Now, if you go and work, who's going to take care of these children? Or they will frustrate every nanny that comes into that sitting. And guess who always gives in? It's the mother who always, majority of the time, not all the time, but a majority of the time, the mom is going to give in for them to stay home so that they're able to take care of children. Please note, I'm not saying every partner that asks you to stay home and raise children is narcissistic, is abusive, is toxic. No, no. This one has an end goal. And the end goal is if you don't have finances, if you don't have a life outside the house, if you're not able to purchase anything for yourself, then all power goes to who? The one who has an income. Then this will mean you can never buy clothes for yourself. You'll ask for the, even for the littlest of things. Like you can't buy even a pair of earrings unless you put it down on budget and it's going to be approved. All right. In the beginning, it may look very rosy because, see, we are saying two become one. And when the two become one, it means what is yours is mine and what is mine is yours, right? Then, of course, there's one source of income. It can be good or maybe not that good. And when it comes in, you will be given what is required for you. But as the days go by and you become comfortable and you're no longer in search, things change. Please note, not everyone. And what might happen is you don't need to make your hair every time. You look good for me in the house. And because this is your bae, well, you might agree to it. The two become one. And anyway, you're home all the time. Why do you need new clothes? Why do you hardly go anywhere? And you're like, okay, I'm fine. There's no problem. You don't have money to go out with your friends. And when you ask for it, it's a waste of money. Do your friends have homes? Are they married? Okay. How many children do they have? Oh, none. Okay, all right. And so when you go and hang out with people who are not married and not with children, like, what will the conversation be all about? And little by little, you're taken away from the outside world because not that money is everything, but having a bit of it for yourself, and not for everyone. Like, I'm really careful to state, it's not every partner that is like this. There are guys who will be like, my wife will never work, and they're going to work their asses off. But even when they work, they give their wives allowances, or they give their wives access to finances that in case of anything, the woman is not going to be stranded. But these specific ones that we're talking about, that even when shit hits the fan, woman, you don't know what to do. You don't know where to start. You have no control of any pin. You don't know where how the finances come in, how they go, what goes. No. It's if I give you that 200, manage. And you're not managing because they don't have. You're managing because someone is also trying to manage you. You get me? So before you actually realize it, you've not bought clothes for years. You even buying for your own children is a hassle because we need to ask permission, because we need to be accountable, because even transport to even leave your house to go and meet a few friends is almost not even almost, it is impossible because you have no penny to your name. And then now you realize Even when you want to eat a special meal or make a special meal that for you is special, you need permission from someone. They have to know, and they even have to be the ones to buy. Because where are you going to? Like, what do you know? You're no longer leaving the house. You're no longer talking to anyone. You don't have airtime. Clothes you're not buying. Even your inner most important wares, you don't have. Pads you're asking for. Lotion. Why do you need lotion? Like, use this specific one. Soap. It is them who are going to decide, my woman uses this kind of soap. And trust you me, there'll be somebody else out there. It doesn't have to be. You can deny, accept. But normally there's someone else who's out there. When you're being told, I prefer natural women. Don't apply these things that smell a certain way. There is someone who's applying, and not cheap things from Backstreet. No, expensive stuff that they're using. Lotion, making their hair every so often, wearing makeup for those who do, being taken for trips here and there. Yet, you who's been the faithful one are left suffering. And you're left still being very truthful, very faithful to this guy. But he's taken away a lot of power. And mark you, this thing doesn't start at day one. You're already seeing it. No. We say these guys are very subtle. It will start with something that really makes sense. Stay home and let's take care of the children. You'll go back to work after so many years. But, and please note, I'm saying it's not every guy who's like this. Because there are also people that I have met, like, who agree with their spouses that, okay, we are pregnant, we are taking a year or two break from one, most of the times it's a lady, from working. As soon as this child is maybe 1.5, 2, go back to work. And they go back to work. And if they conceive again, the same agreement. And these guys become very, very supportive of their partners to thrive in any way and in any case, which are also people that I've met. But then now these ones are the ones who just at the mark of almost going back to work, you'll be discouraged. You'll be told how you're not keeping up. You've not kept up with the market. They'll start asking you why that gap. And then you're pregnant again. And of course, now, because you're pregnant again, most companies in Kenya will withdraw from employing someone who's pregnant. Not that all, or it's always the case, no, but sometimes. And so, of course, you'll take a step back. So by the time you're thinking of going back to the job market, like you need to first go back to school or learn a few skills here and there. And when you've asked for businesses, what do you know? You will waste our money. And you sit back and enjoy the ride and just be comfortable. So, know your partner. Know who it is that you've been married to, getting married to, begin life with, continuing life with, so that you are well aware of what you're dealing with or what you're getting yourself into. But by the time someone is getting married, you're so excited that you don't even think of these things can happen to you. No. It happens even to the best. And when these people are corrected, like, you can find good in-laws who will want to, like, step in and say, Wanjiko, we took you to school. I think you need to go back to work. Or even his parents will step in a very good way. But you'll find this is a kind of person who's not going to accept any rebuke. And you remember the way we said them, they're full of violence. Their heart is just full of violence. So it's just a little bit of trying to, like, advise them, try this, do the other, that can still work for the whole family. And from their mouth, it's just venom that is just gonna be spit even to his parents, right? So it doesn't save you from a tea because the parents have come, because your parents, no. Like someone who's narcissistic, someone who's abusive, someone who's toxic, remember, they don't bow to any kind of authority. They don't believe in anyone being the master of them. They are the masters of themselves. So even someone coming in to advise is a no-go zone. Now imagine being with someone like this, and then you have children and they've been squandering everything. Then what happens to your children? And you know, the thing is, they can be the kind to take the children to the most expensive, prestigious schools, but will never give you cash like this. It's a no. And especially you and your children. But if it is paying direct, no problem. So now you have this. They've gone to those kind of schools. Yes, they have the connections, but starting life, it was going to be starting from zero, like everybody else. So that's about financial abuse. I hope it has helped. Seek clarity. Don't just, because of this short conversation that we've had, it is not cast on stone that what you think you're going through is financial abuse. No. Kindly seek professional help. Get to understand and know what your situation is. Is it something that needs to be alarming? Is it just a season? Or like basically just understanding. And then we move on from there. So seek professional therapist with whom you can discuss this with. That has been our day, the 13th. Thank you and goodbye.